Tonight on The Goat Show.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
If there are crimes, these people are getting charged.
I mean, we have a written contract.
Yeah, they're called feds.
I did more than people are doing for murders in Canada.
You're going straight to jail.
Circle can freeze a USDC account.
They don't even know what the fuck it is.
Welcome to The Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. I am joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy. Gentlemen, good to see you today. It is the first week of the golden age of America, our grand return, and Trump has been cranking out these executive orders, ordering everybody to do all kinds of things. So we're gonna get into that throughout this show. But before we do, Fresh, what must we order the people watching this show to do?
You gotta like, you gotta subscribe, you gotta hit the bell, you gotta drop a comment, and you gotta share it with someone. If you don't share it with someone, we're coming to get you.
You're going straight to jail.
Right to jail.
Do not pass go.
Right to jail. Right away.
Straight to jail.
Believe it or not, jail. Right away.
You're getting deported immediately.
You right to jail.
We're deporting you, even if you're not illegal. If you don't like and do all the things Fresh just said. So just we don't say we didn't warn you. We're gonna get Tom Homan on your ass. All right, let's get into it. So Trump gets into office, right? Not even, the inauguration isn't even. I mean, it's like maybe an hour done. He hasn't even gone to the inauguration parties yet, and this motherfucker out here signing executive orders. So I just want to say, after 4 years of a president you never saw, who never appeared, who never was interviewed, who never, every time he talked, you were kind of like, is this guy still, is he still got all his marbles? I just will say, it is refreshing to have a president that is front and center, who's present. You may not agree with everything he's signing, but it just feels nice to have somebody who's actually there, doing shit and being the boss. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think?
I mean, he hasn't said anything that I don't agree with. The one interesting thing that I think is the birthright citizenship, how he's trying to change that. I think he's definitely going to face some shit in court over that one for sure.
Well, the Supreme Court blocked it already. The Supreme Court blocked that executive order.
He's gonna catch some litigation for sure on a few of these, but I'm still hopeful. Like they're already they sent the military today. It was like maybe an hour ago that I saw that the Marines, I believe it was Marines, are currently at the southern border. So I don't know if they sent a bunch of the Marine contractors, like the engineers and shit out there to help build the wall, but they're already cracking that wall. And anybody that debates having a wall between you and another country, I mean, it's for security purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's actually a proper use of the military, for national defense, because I mean, there's been, people always want to, point at the emotional shit with women and children trying to come over and all that stuff. And I did think it was funny. There was one video that did try to do that. And nobody was we're just we don't give a fuck. Cry bitch. No, that's okay, but yeah.
It's because they're coming here and having anchor babies, right? So you want me to feel bad because you did something to affect your child. It's not the country that's doing something wrong. It was you that did something wrong, and now you're facing the consequences of your actions. And unfortunately, one of those consequences is the child you had here to try to secure yourself as a citizen has to go with you.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the idea of people coming over and then their sole aim is to have a kid here or to bring the, whatever. And then that ties them here. It's no, you got to go through, there needs to be proper immigration policy, which I, agree with. And I think they're going to work on that, but you can't just come over and expect, and especially because a lot of them were being given welfare. A lot of them, nobody knows who the hell they were. And it wasn't just women with anchor babies. It was freaking, fighting age Chinese and shit like that. So it's it's to me, it's just national defense. It makes much more sense. It's better for them to be here than some other fucking country, fighting somebody else's wars. So I'm for it. And, you know, anybody sensitive about immigration, it's like, listen, you got to come here the proper way. If you want to fight, you know, the battle in terms of changing immigration policy, then cool, go join some kind of organization that works on that. But in terms of just coming here, you know, and us having sympathy for this anymore is fucking fuck that. I'm over it. I'm done. No more.
Makes no sense. Where's the sympathy for us?
Yeah, I mean, when there are bad people that get through and they do something and people are victimized in the community, like what about those people, you know? Because
What? That's not just legal.
yeah, it's not about every immigrant is a bad person, and I think that that's where a lot of people try to go with it, like it's racist or whatever. Like, no, it's just that if you let everybody in, there are psychopaths amongst everybody. So people should be properly screened and come in. Like, we don't not want people to come here, but it just needs to be done proper.
Other countries are purposely releasing their criminals because they don't know what to do, and pushing them towards us. Yeah, you know, Venezuela was doing that. I mean, and it's a tactic. It's an actual tactic to you know, undermine the United States. And then, you know, who knows who's paying whoever, whether it's cartels or China or whatever, or Soros paying all these cities to just, you know, allow this to happen.
Yeah, but I also understand, bro. Like the people have been kind of like made to feel like this is wrong somehow. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is like a brainwashing thing more than because I feel like anybody with a sane mind understands that nobody's trying to say close the borders and don't let anybody in.
Right.
When is somebody going to have sympathy for the people here? And also, like the one person who gets over that's like a psychopath, they're not just affecting people who live there legally. It's people who are illegal getting killed as well and raped and this and that. This shit is happening to everybody. So it's in protection of everybody, not just naturalized citizens.
And the point of it is like all it takes is a handful of crazy people for all immigrants to catch the bad rap. So you see what I mean? Like, yeah, not all immigrants are bad. No one says that. No one believes that. Fuck, we're all immigrants if you go back far enough in time to different place. So it's about now that we're in this society, which is so high strung, and we have all these fucking people who want to do ill will against other people for whatever the case, whether it's religious, whether it's political, whether they're paid to do it, it doesn't matter. Like, we should be a little bit more careful about who just gets to come in and out of our country. That's what our government is literally their job, to protect the citizens and like ensure that the country is a safe and, you know, positive area that for the citizens of their country. Like, that's what we hired them to do. So I don't know why people are so upset.
Right. And for anybody, you know, who's like, who feels, you know, emotionally affected by, you know, I just saw one, I think they gave it a shot and nobody cared, but, you know, one woman who was crying and they're trying to, you know, make this thing out of it. The truth is that, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of really ugly, like sex crimes that happen in that journey that have been happening, both to kids and to, you know, women. There's a lot of drug muling that happens by force. It's really like, I mean, it's really, really gruesome, some of the stuff that happens. And, you know, I think it's to the benefit of women and children who, you know, are thinking of making that journey to say, hey, like, don't, you know, because you're going to get mixed up in all kinds of stuff. Who knows what you're going to get mixed up in to make that journey. And, you know, I encourage people to watch an interview with Tom Homan where he talks about that. And you really start to understand, like, you know, he puts on a tough face and he's a tough motherfucker, but like, when you hear him talk about the things he's seen, you're like, whoa, like you can understand why this guy is like, this needs to stop now, you know. And I don't think it's a racism thing. I think it's like, it is actually a very dangerous journey, and a lot of crazy stuff happens. And yeah, and yeah, it's a national security risk. And I think that if you're going to have a military for a nation, number one priority is actual defense of the nation. So having a strong border, having a wall, you know, that's what our military is supposed to be used for. So I'm in support of it on both borders, you know. Even with these Canadians, man, I'm you know, who knows? These Canadians be shady too, bro. We got to keep them out unless they want to become the 51st state. Then they're more than welcome to come into America. So that's how I feel about it.
Bro, Canada is a terrorist state. So like If you think that Mexico is bad, it is. Like the border in Mexico is bad, but the border in Canada is just as bad, if not worse. And we've got like those whatever countries they're coming from, it doesn't really matter. They have people here that work at the borders. So they get into Canada as a terrorist, and Canada knows they're terrorists. Nobody gives a shit. And then they're like, hey, my cousin Bob works at the border. Why don't you just go on through to the States? I think it's just as dangerous, if not more so. The only thing that's not happening at the Canadian border is we're not bringing you guys fentanyl. It's coming the other way. But like, again, I still think that as far as like sex trafficking and all that, I think it's just as or more dangerous. Like the Michigan border, bro, like in Detroit, from Detroit to Windsor.
The Detroit to Windsor corridor. One thing I did find amusing is Fox News had this report and they're showing some. I mean, part of it is like I'm sure a lot of it's just they're just arresting people and people are just getting taken, but they gotta find the most insane, like the most insane Haitian dude ever, just talking crazy, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not going back.
but he said like Biden forever, fuck Trump. I don't know.
It's fucking amazing, bro.
I mean, he wasn't telling lies when he said thanks for everything the Biden administration did for me, because when people come in to this country, at least under the Biden administration, they were given like fucking a prepaid card or some kind of payment plus a cell phone and all kinds of assistance and all kinds of stuff.
Bro, they flew them out of Haiti, bro. Haiti was having that cannibal problem, and then they flew these motherfuckers out of Haiti and then said, no, that's not happening. It's not true.
It's just like we paid for that.
Now they're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
The damn sausage dogs.
I think that people just need to realize like a lot of Americans are really struggling and we need to focus on America. And that's the point. So yes, people want to come here because it's a great place, but right now is a tough time. And it's time for us to focus on the people who have been here and their generations of people who have built this country that are already here, that have been here, even including those people who have gotten citizenship. Like those people still help us build this country. So it's like, go through the appropriate process, and maybe that process should probably be changed. Maybe there should be some immigration policy changes, but how that gets done needs to be like really discussed and thought about. It can't just be like, this is how it's going to happen.
But there's something else going on, guys, because like the illegals back in the day, they never used to be like this, bro. It wasn't like this. Like people were coming illegally the whole time. This isn't a new phenomenon. Like maybe the open border thing is new, but people have been coming illegally forever. And they would come and they'd be like, I want to go there to build a better life and help build the country. And that's not happening anymore. And that's what I'm trying to understand.
It's still happening. And it just goes back to what I said before, because I mean, I'm not going to say I know people, but I know people that are illegal that are here for a better life and have been working and building things, paying taxes, doing shit like a regular fucking citizen, and all shit's good with them. And I'm saying it's like it only takes a handful of bad people to ruin it for everybody, right? It doesn't take everybody doing wrong. It only takes a small percentage of people doing wrong to ruin it for everybody. So if we prevent that by doing it right, then no one will have that weird stigma about that. There won't be these crazy ass people coming over and causing havoc. Everyone will welcome immigration more because we're bringing in the best and the brightest, and those people are coming here and benefiting their lives and everyone else around them. Like that's what we want. I think that's the case, right?
Yep. I agree, and I agree with what you're saying that we got to do right by our own people. All right, world, we got to do right by our own fellow Americans, and Trump's starting to do some right by some Americans here. So one of the things that he did, in addition to setting new standards for immigration policy, is he went on a pardon spree. his very own. We talked about Biden's pardon spree from before. Now we got our pardons. He pardoned all 1,500 J6ers, January 6ers, for those who may not know. Those who were arrested and never really offered, some kind of actual trial for their quote unquote crimes on January 6th. Storming the Capitol is what they were accused of. A lot of them just been sitting there in, I guess, in jail or prison and didn't know what the fuck was going on. And Trump freed them all. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Some people are saying they freed terrorists. They freed, insurgents.
Some people caused some harm on that day. There were a certain few people that committed some serious crimes on that day. And those people shouldn't have been pardoned.
Yeah, they're called feds.
Those people should be in jail too. But like, again, if you were overly aggressive and fucking hurting people, assaulting people, I don't think you should get a pardon. But just for going there and being there.
A reporter brought that up to Trump about how somebody tased a police officer or something like that. And Trump even said, he's like, well, if that's the case, then we'll look into that, but I'm sure he's like, there were some people that didn't get pardons. There were some people that got just like a commuted sentence or something, like because, but they didn't get a pardon.
But then there's also the case where they're trying to pin people's deaths on people from the riots. And like the cop that died of natural causes on the 7th. And they're trying to pin that on the J6 rioters. So like, this is where, again, it's kind of muddy. And I could see how it's like, all right, just pardon them and then we'll figure it out. Because they're already in the system.
One thing, and we'll have to research it. It's like, were they actually convicted of crime? And this, we'll get into this in a second. This idea of like pardons for people who may or may not have committed crimes, right? But that was one of my big questions is like, okay, all 1,500 of these people, like, are they actual people that were convicted of crimes? If they're just in holding, and they haven't actually been, and they're being illegally, unconstitutionally, held. And to me, that's kidnapping. And yeah, like you should release them. And then if you have a crime to go after them for, then sure, go ahead and go after them for an actual crime that is legitimate. If the problem with the whole situation is that it was so politicized in so many ways, and in a lot of this, I don't know, I feel like a lot of it was lawfare, and a lot of it was just, we're going to put these people in the harshest, sort of like some people were kept in solitary for extended periods of time. I mean, I think a lot of it was like trying to send a message, like, do not think about trying to, come and overthrow the government. Otherwise, we're going to do everything we can to make you miserable. So I don't know. It seems like a weird situation. I just think that I agree with you, Fresh. I think this is what you're saying, which is that, hey, listen, like, you can't just like grab people up, put them in confinement, and then not do anything. Like, charge them with a crime, present the evidence.
Bro, it's been 4 years. Everybody in the US and Canada has the right to a fair and speedy trial. You cannot fucking make somebody sit for 4 years, bro, over what? Over something you're not even sure they've done. You haven't even proved they did it. Like, that's, and again, what is the law of the land? Innocent until proven guilty. So you're treating these people like they're guilty and you haven't even proven it yet. So I'm looking at the list of people that didn't get pardons, and they're all the people who have pled guilty already and been charged already. So like, the people who were pardoned were all awaiting trials.
Wow. See, yeah, that's,
so there's only 14 people that didn't receive pardons, and it's because they committed the crime and admitted it. And then there's one chick that isn't accepting the pardon because she said also, I'm guilty.
It's kind of funny because there's a couple of people who are accepting pardons from Biden that and Fauci is one. I think Adam Schiff is one. Or did Adam Schiff get a pardon? I can't remember. I don't know if that's actually what happened. Fauci's getting preemptive pardons back to 2014, and a lot of Biden's family members getting preemptive pardons. So, I mean, we talked about this already, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but I think that there will be a challenge in the Supreme Court, it's looking like, for preemptive pardons, because how can you be part? Again, it goes back to that fundamental question. And I know Schultz, Andrew Schultz kind of did a funny bit about it on his show. It's like, how can you, if you're going to accept a pardon, then, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think if you accept a pardon, that means that you're admitting that you did something wrong.
It's not a thought. On the law in the US, to accept a pardon, you have to admit that you did the thing. That's part of the pardon. It's like, yes, I'm guilty, but I'll take the pardon. Like, you know what I mean? Or else, why the fuck would you take a pardon? They can't prove you're guilty then, bro.
Right. My question is, do you have to be convicted in a court of law of a crime in order to receive a pardon? Because if that's the case, I mean, what president in history has given pardons to people that have not already been in jail or already been convicted of a crime? Like, I can't think of anything in recent times of anybody who's done that. I mean, maybe Grok or something can tell us, but I don't know if there's a precedent for it. This preemptive pardon thing. I think this is going to get battled out in the courts, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's way too sweeping and it should be more specific because, and also, I don't think that you should be able to get a pardon for crimes against humanity. I think that's like one of those things and essentially treason, right? So,
Like murder, rape, things like that. You shouldn't be able to get a pardon.
well, yeah, I mean, force, at least for something like that. I mean, it's like genocide, forcing some kind of fucking technology into everybody's arm for the benefit of big pharma with zero. Well, they had tests done but they're withholding all of the testing like for years and years.
For 75 years, bro. They don't have to release it for 75 years. Like, get the fuck out of here. Also, Biden's preemptive pardons are unprecedented.
Yeah, this is a new thing.
Never been done before, bro. You can't. It's not. So I don't think that this is going to hold up.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
If there are crimes, these people are getting charged with them.
I just want to say that because I was doing some, some independent journalism this morning. Trump revoked Dr. Fauci's security detail.
I bet he did.
And John Bolton's.
He's not paying for their like security because they get paid like kind of Secret Service type thing. He's like, no, we're taking all that away.
They did that to him.
Right.
He would have never done this, okay? But they did it to him. And so now he's like, fine, fair game, bro. What's good for the goose, guys? You wanted to take his security detail away and give him fucking 6 women to get him shot? Go ahead. But now you guys got no security detail.
Yeah, he said they have plenty of money now from all the schemes and scamming they've done, so they can pay for their own security.
Pay your own way.
Yeah, and they actually deserve those fucking pieces of shit deserve to get all of their security details removed. They're a bunch of fucking scumbag neocons for real. Yeah, I'm happy actually. He should have done that the first term, gotten rid of all these guys. But bringing it back to the pardons, Ross Ulbricht was pardoned. So
cheers to that.
A couple of things.
Cheers to Ross.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers to that. Toast to that.
Cheers to Ross. Cheers to Trump for pardoning him. Cheers to Angela.
Yeah. Cheers to Angela McArdle. Okay. So I got so many things to say about this. First thing, let's just talk about Ross in general. Yeah, if you look deep into the case, there are a lot of people saying, "Oh, they pardoned a drug dealer and a guy who hired hitmen." Look into the case.
Go arrest the owner of AT&T right now.
Yeah, all the bankers too. Let's go.
Go arrest the owner of AT&T right now. They're using the AT&T network for every single fucking child trafficking. All this shit is done on AT&T, and AT&T knows. So you better arrest those people then.
Yeah. No, look into it. I mean, we don't have to go through a play-by-play, but a lot of it was like definitely FBI, fucking corrupt FBI officials shaking him down. They took all the Bitcoin in the marketplace, and yeah, they made up all these stories to try and convince the public that Ross was this dangerous dude, and he wasn't. So
all because they didn't like Bitcoin, bro.
Yeah, they didn't like Bitcoin at the time. They knew it was a threat to the U.S. dollar, and they wanted to scare everybody away from using it. So I think it's well deserved. I mean, even if you agree that, hey, he was this drug dealer guy or whatever, it's like most drug dealer guys get what, 5-6 years, and then he wasn't hitman thing or whatever they're accusing him of was not true. So if you're just going after, this guy's a drug dealer, 5 years, 6 years max is kind of the standard from what I understand for that. So I mean, and even if you went hardcore, a decade. I mean, this guy was in prison for 11 years, I think. 11 years. Maximum security too. Like he wasn't hanging out with like just, low level, whatever people. Like they put him in with the fucking killers and the rapists and shit. So
Bro, in Canada, you got to do 10 for a murder, bro. I did more than people are doing for murders in Canada.
right.
Because he made a website. Like he didn't even bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, he just made a website.
Right. So are you arresting Mark Zuckerberg right now? Because kids are sold on that website like crazy.
Right. I guarantee if you had let Silk Road go, like just keep continuing, it probably would have turned into a legit site.
It was a legit site, bro. Like, see, because this is the thing, right? Like the libertarian in me is like, but free market drugs. What do you mean?
Right. Same. I don't have a problem with that.
Right. So I don't actually think he did anything wrong. Like the human trafficking, if that was really a thing on Silk Road, maybe he could have tried to stop it, but like it's all anonymous.
Every site that has any social component, any site, any Shopify site, whatever, there's always fraud. There's always going to be weirdos. You go on Reddit. Reddit is like fucking like some of the stuff on Reddit is crazy. Like, I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't shut a lot of that stuff down. So, yeah, it was just regardless of any way you cut it, 11 years is plenty. I'm sure he's learned his whatever lesson they wanted to teach, and they taught him. So I'm glad that he got free. The other aspect of this thing, you mentioned Angela McArdle. She was on the show. We'll put her episode in the show notes. Libertarians, my people, they just can't take they got to take the big L in all the ways.
Losers.
The little L.
Losers.
And they just can't. I don't know what it is. Like you would think libertarians would be like, winning mindset type people, but they just aren't. They just, I don't know what it is. I don't know why libertarianism attracts people that they say they love freedom and independence, and they attract all these people that just like have no, I don't know. Because basically, so I'm kind of going just to zoom out, roll it back a little bit. It's Angela has been in the crosshairs of a lot of libertarians, let's say, because she's the chair of the Libertarian Party, Big L Libertarian Party. But she did something that they consider heresy this year at the Libertarian National Convention. She had Trump come speak at the convention, and she had a bunch of other people that were from the Republican Party, like Vivek Ramaswamy. She had RFK Jr., people who are not official members of the Libertarian Party. She had them come speak. And as a result of doing that, and also the main candidate for the Libertarian Party, I don't know, this Chase Oliver guy. I mean, I don't know who's enthusiastic about him. Anyone who's like a hard, real Mises libertarian type, just we were all just like, ugh, like this is like no way I'm going to vote for this guy. So she made the smart move. She was like, look, what can we get? Let's form an alliance with Donald Trump, and let's see what we can get. Let's let's have a voice in the conversation with him, in his second term, So one of the things she negotiated with him, of many things, with the biggest one, the biggest promise that he made to the Libertarian Party is that he would free Ross Ulbricht. Day one, he would free him. All right. Well, it took 2 days, but Trump was true to his word. He freed the man, and Angela deserves the praise for that. Now, there's this guy, Sal the Agorist, and I don't want to speak negative about this guy because I actually he's a great meme maker. He makes fantastic memes. I've shared them with lots of people. They're clever. He's really good at it, and it's great. But this guy is trying to say that, Angela had nothing to do with this. It's all the people over the last 10 years that have, which, hey, fair enough. Ross Ulbricht's mom, Lynn
Ulbricht's work isn't diminished by Angela securing the deal.
Yeah, no, I mean, if Angela did not have the 100,000, like there's hundreds of thousands of signatures for Ross over those 10 years. So she took that to Trump and showed Trump that stuff. I don't know if people know that, but she did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I felt really, I usually don't feel compelled to respond to these things from the account, but I felt like it was really important where Dave Smith and Sal were going back and forth. And to me, I just, we'll put it in the show notes. It's really simple. It's like you're playing, everybody else got you to the Super Bowl. All right. And all Angela did was fucking, catch the winning touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That's what she did. She sealed the deal on this whole thing of the last 10 years.
Lynn is still Peyton Manning, bro. She still threw the pass. Angela just caught it in the end zone, and now you're mad at her for catching the winning touchdown? That's crazy. Ross is home, guys.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? I mean, if you're a libertarian who's nitpicking over this, I said it in the tweet. I was like, go fuck yourself. All right? This is bullshit, man. Be happy that this got done, at all. You know what I'm saying? And give Trump his credit. The man's a man of his word. He said he would do it, and he did it.
This reminds me of tone policing. It reminds me of like, I agree with what you said, but I don't like how you said it. I don't give a fuck. The job's done. Job's done, bro. Guy's home. I don't know what you're crying about. Move on. Let's work on Roger now.
Right. And then a lot of people are saying, oh, Thomas Massey brought this up to Trump, blah, blah, blah. Or, I mean, I don't know. Tom Massey and Trump are not, I wouldn't say that, I don't think they're enemies, but I wouldn't say they're on the same page about a lot of stuff, because Massey's a very principled individual. He doesn't go along with everything Trump says. And, Trump's the kind of person where, fair enough, like, he's the boss. He wants you to go along with what he's got. So they're not always on the same page. So who knows? Maybe Massey was not, an effective, and Rand Paul too brought this up to Trump in the past. But in my opinion, I think Angela really is the one who truly sealed the deal, because she had something to offer Trump, which was the libertarian vote. And she held water for Trump, and she got other libertarians like Dave Smith and Clint and some other people, podcasters, influential figures in the Libertarian Party, to hold water for Trump for the election. And I guarantee you that, a lot of people that were libertarians did vote for Trump. They may have done it anyway, but, they supported him. They brought that element. So,
well, I think that Angela's support and the support of people like Angela is why he got the support of people like Elon. Because I think that they're the ones who showed Elon, like, yeah, we're willing to go with this guy if it's for the greater good type shit.
Yeah. And she said in the episode that she was on, there are a lot of sort of ANCAP libertarian types in the top levels of Elon's organizations. So, Elon definitely hears that side of the argument on a lot of issues. So I just want to say, congrats to you, Angela. You definitely contributed something very important. She's a shit. She needs to be reelected. Toasting. Yeah, let's toast Angela.
Cheers,
and toast
Angela.
Lynn and all the people that work so hard. Yeah.
And Ross again for being home, and Trump for making it happen. And everybody who worked hard on this. Like, everybody's efforts are recognized and is what made this happen. Cheers, guys.
Mm-hmm. Cheers. Beautiful thing. And I hope that, Roger Ver's next. I hope that Trump continues pardoning people that, have been unfairly treated. And I think that'll be a great legacy, if anything, for his presidency,
but where isn't Roger charged in Spain? Or is he charged in America and held in Spain? Or
he's being held in Spain, but he's being charged in America, I think. The American government, yeah.
He's home now, right? Just not free.
I don't know. I need to talk to Aaron and Angela and see what the status is. But they're both saying that he needs to free Roger. So my assumption is that Roger is under U.S. jurisdiction now, because Roger, and we did a whole episode, with both Angela and Aaron Day, about Roger's situation, freerogervera.org, I think. And yeah, again, another unfair situation. And I think Trump is aware of it. I think, again, and that's the other thing that was annoying me about all these libertarians. It's like, do you guys have any tact? Like, you can't, the dude is just elected president. You know what I'm saying? You're already bitching about like how he's not freeing this guy. It's like, listen, like, chill, take a breather. If in a month nothing's happening, then okay, put the pressure on again. But gosh, like, the guy just took office. He hadn't even been done with his inauguration. They were already, pestering him about this. So
bro is up for 72 hours at a time. Just let him work. He'll get shit done. Fuck.
If there's anybody who's going to get it done, it's going to be Trump.
Trump is the definition of get it done or die trying, bro. Like, this guy's not going to stop until it happens. So
a good example of that, although have reservations about this one, but an example of that is the Stargate program that so I don't know, maybe Fresh, I know you've been following this one a little closer. Maybe you can give like kind of a quick summary of what the Stargate program is that they're trying to do.
Well, it's basically it's AI health, right? So it's using AI to figure out like new vaccines, new health treatments, stuff like this. But also like it's building quantum and AI.
It's like power infrastructure, right? Like,
Yeah, it's all the thing. It's like a super over encompassing thing that they're trying to do. Like they want this to encompass it all.
so there's a couple of controversies with this thing. So Trump has talked extensively. I don't think that's any surprise. He said, even on the campaign trail, he wants America to be the capital. Well, first of all, he's saying it, that America is the capital of AI and crypto. So we'll get into crypto stuff in a second, but he wants AI built here. He wants us to dominate AI. He wants us to kick ass. Okay. Something that has come up a lot with AI is being able to create the power for it. These whatever computers, quantum computers, I don't know exactly what it is, but from what everybody's saying, including Elon and everybody in AI, it's like, they all want to build power reactors, nuclear reactors. They want to expand the electrical grid. They want to have their own electricity so that they can power their AI plants and we can get the show on the road. So from what I understand with Stargate, it's both of those things you talked about. It's being able to create a new infrastructure and power grid for AI, and then the second part of what they were talking about were these custom mRNA vaccines they can make. Basically, the AI examines who you are, they make a custom thing, and it can cure cancer and all this other kind of stuff. That's what they're claiming. Okay, the controversy in all this is, where's RFK Jr.? We just went through a whole mRNA controversy with COVID, and it was Maha all the way, DZ. All right, make America healthy again. Where's RFK Jr. in all this? I want to know, like, how can we trust these guys? They're also saying that this can be used as surveillance, this AI infrastructure. And then where's Elon? Elon's not having it. He was not, he didn't say anything totally negative, but he did say he's been throwing shade on this whole thing from Twitter. He's saying they don't got the money to put in, because I think they're providing the money, right? $500 billion. Like, they're supposed to provide it to build it, and the government's supposed to just, I don't know, I guess, allow it. This thing is with what's called SoftBank, which I think is Japanese, and Microsoft and OpenAI. Grok, or XAI, nowhere to be seen on this one. So it's a little curious,
I think they're waiting, bro. I think they're just waiting for the right time to strike. But I think some stuff's coming.
You think they're pulling a maneuver here with getting OpenAI, Microsoft to invest in this thing, and then at some point XAI is going to come back around, because Elon and Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, have had beef, man. He invested in OpenAI. It was supposed to be open source, nonprofit, and then Sam was like, "Man, fuck that shit."
I need a $10 billion salary or some shit.
He's like, "I can make all different fucking open source. Pay me, Microsoft."
Yeah, now it's closed source for profit. Elon is really upset about that. He talks about that a lot.
I mean, I know you should be a man of your word. I get it. But you just built this badass AI and you ain't getting nothing? You're just going to give it to the whole world? I mean, come on, human nature. Elon should have known better, in my opinion. That's my controversial take. Elon, you should have known better, bro. You can say it from your high horse because you got Tesla and you're making all this money. But if you're Sam Altman and you're just some dude and you make this incredible thing, I'm just saying, a brother got to get paid somehow, some way.
Elon lives off like no money, doesn't even own a house, and fucking like doesn't take money, reinvests every penny he makes into the things he's building. Like that's not really, this is why it's upsetting him, I think, because he didn't even make that promise and he doesn't take the money. You know what I mean? And you've made this promise and you're taking the money.
But I mean, Elon's doing it through, I guess, I guess he's doing it through the companies, though. You're telling me if Elon doesn't have an assistant, he's like, I want a triple cheeseburger, go find one, that somebody's not going to find that triple cheeseburger as fast as possible?
Okay, bro, but what does a fucking triple cheeseburger cost, bro? $10? You don't need a fucking $1 million salary to do that. Like I said, like he doesn't have a house and he has his own money.
You're telling me Elon doesn't have a full set of brand new super Teslas that nobody's driven yet? He's not driving one of those?
Probably.
I bet you he doesn't own them though, like not personally. I bet you the company owns them, and if he needs to take it, he goes and grabs the Batmobile.
Okay, so you're telling me if OpenAI was paying for itself and Sam was taking some cash out of OpenAI to pay himself, that would be okay?
No. Elon has his own money. He already has money. He's not taking more money out to just buy a fucking cheeseburger. He's not taking money out of Tesla. He buys his own cheeseburger.
I'm just saying, I'm not necessarily defending Sam Altman. I'm just saying, because you should be a man of your word. If you said that you were going to keep it open source and that's how you got money from Elon, then yeah, that should be the case. But at the same time, I'm kind of just like, if I told you, DZ, I'm like, yo, that cool thing that you want to build, I got the money for it, but you got to keep it open source. And I gave you the money, and then it's getting all this money, you're getting all these offers. You're gonna tell me, DZ, that you're gonna care about my feeling about it, that you're not gonna take the money?
I mean, we have a written contract.
But Elon hasn't sued him, so I don't know. Was it a handshake deal? Because I think Elon would have sued OpenAI if there was some kind of clause that kept it open source. It might be let's say DZ was a handshake deal. Would you be a man of your word? Would you?
I say yes, especially if it's something like this. Like the case for it is it shouldn't be behind a paywall because it's going to benefit so many people. So if we're going to make everybody pay credits for a fucking chatbot, and then they use all that money that people paid to like continuously advance their systems, and then they're going to charge more for a more advanced system that you helped them build with the money you paid to use their product. And then it's going to be a point where no one's going to really be able to participate with it because it's going to get so expensive to use. Because it kind of requires a lot of like processing power and, server. That's why we got to buy credits when we use any AI fucking featured anything. AI Suno, you have to buy credits, right? Fucking anything that you're doing that uses AI requires that. So it has to be a monetary system behind it because it costs a lot of money to do that. It's computing power, electricity.
It doesn't have to generate income. This is the thing. There's a difference between having to pay for upkeep and then generating revenue, right? Like, why is this thing that's meant to benefit humanity?
I understand it generating revenue if but the AI, if they make it smart enough, should at some point be in charge of where the revenue goes, because people need to be eliminated from this system.
I don't think that it should have revenue. I don't think it should be net positive. I think that if it does go positive, it should be donated, bro, because it's got to be like you pay for the processing power and then whatever's left over, you donate that shit. Why are you making money? It's meant to benefit humanity.
I just think there should be a goal. Like we wanted to get here, and that's where all the money's going to. Building up our servers, opening new data centers, making the training for a larger model. That's where the money's going. But if billions of dollars are going into the pockets of fucking people, then that's a waste.
Okay, but now I also have a counterpoint. Let's say Sam Altman, the guy who's running this shit and making it all happen, he's got another thing that he's doing that pays him $10 million a year. But OpenAI is demanding so much time from him, he can't do this other thing. Should he not get a salary in order to keep doing this shit to benefit humanity?
I mean, my feeling is just, and maybe this is just a lesson for us all. First of all, if you agree to something, be a person of your word. Like you agree to it, you're a person of your word, be a person of your word. You know what I'm saying? Which is tough because as soon as the money starts dropping in your lap or the potential for the money to start dropping, people like to just forget things. So that's the first thing. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a capitalist. If you're doing the work and you don't have an agreement saying whatever, then Feel free to pay yourself as much as you want, and feel free to not do open source anymore. If it was never like an obligatory thing, it was kind of like a hope, then that's on Elon. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't have a contract that said, if they didn't have a contract that said, hey, this stays open source and you don't get to do X, Y, and Z, sure, you can have beef between two individuals, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, Elon, man, like you should have demanded that via contract that this thing stays open source. Don't maybe it's a good lesson about handshake deals. Like, don't do a handshake deal. Always get a contract. If it's a handshake deal, it's a handshake deal. You can't have any expectation.
Or maintain some kind of control, right? Like,
oh yeah, if he has ownership of it.
keep some kind of control over the country, or not country, sorry, company. Give yourself a chance to like negate negative actions on the company's behalf. Otherwise, it's gonna be, you're losing it. Is there a board of directors and stuff now with OpenAI? There is, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Microsoft bought OpenAI, so it's all Microsoft now.
Oh, well, then the deal is null and void, brother.
Yeah, bro.
If somebody else owns the company, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's not even the same people that own the company anymore. If Microsoft wants to pay Sam, who the fuck is Elon to tell Microsoft what to do with their money? That's crazy, bro.
There's a little part of me, and maybe I don't understand the full picture, but there's a little part of me that's kind of, hey, listen, Elon's building XAI, so I can't say, oh, well, why don't you just go build something instead of whining about it. But I'm just saying, like, he's doing it, but I understand. I understand it why he's, anyway, long tangent there, but the whole point of this is, it's a little interesting that Trump went along with this. I would imagine that the relationship between him and Elon would have put a kibosh on this, but that is not the case. So they must have presented a really good, they must have, and these guys were not complimentary of Trump on the campaign trail. Like they, Larry Ellison and these guys involved. And this whole thing, again, bringing it back, this mRNA thing. mRNA is a dirty word in MAGA country. All right.
They don't even know what the fuck it is or when it was invented. They think mRNA came out with COVID.
I'm just saying, it's just from a public relations perspective. You drop that. Trump should have been like, yo, listen, you can't say the mRNA word. All right. Therapeutics, something like that. That's what I I don't know. The PR person in me would have been like, you got to drop the mRNA word, and they can figure it out later, but you got to call it something that feels maha. You know what I'm saying? And then RFK not being there.
You got to drop the xylitol. You got to call it birch sap. The thing is mRNA is not a new technology, right? And I think that the problem is not having the time to do studies, more so than anything else. And like, so using the mRNA technology to edit your genes to the point where like you are more susceptible to the wrong viruses in order to fight this other virus was the problem, because it wasn't tested. But if we have AI that is able to run these simulations way faster than we can live life, then I'm not exactly sure that mRNA is going to be a bad thing.
It needs to be called what it is. It's a gene therapy. It's what it is. You're introducing foreign genes into your body that tie themselves into your DNA, and then they replicate over and over again, and eventually there's a large portion of that mRNA tied into your DNA, and it's physically changing the DNA in your body. So that's something that is something to consider when you're putting that in your body. Like, it's, who knows what the possible side effects could be of something that small of a change. Like when you take, I was to say, like when you take like fucking penicillin to kill a specific type of an antibacterial or antifungal, or when you take something like that, there's a mechanism happening, but that's not even on the DNA level. That's like on just like the cellular level. And so when you start messing with your body on that like integrity, that integral part of your body, then who knows what's going to happen, bro. And imagine if two people with the DNA get together and have a kid, and then their DNA is going to be like a crapshoot of the crapshoot of DNA that was created by that change in yours. So who knows, man? It could affect the whole gene pool of humanity. That's why it's such a scary thing.
Well, it's not affecting your DNA, it's affecting your RNA, right? Your ribonucleic acids. But still, yeah, like, so it's basically telling this acid to do something and only that something. And that's not the way our mRNA was used in the past.
I mean, isn't that what's her name? Shanahan, the who's been who was with RFK on the Maha thing. She's saying that the potential for these mRNA therapies is that they literally alter genetic code, and she's saying they can spread.
They're bioweapons.
Yeah, it can be a bioweapon.
They can spread and they can adapt, right? And that's what makes them scary. And this is what we've seen with COVID and the COVID vaccine, is them changing and adapting and doing things that they weren't programmed to do. So, I mean, again, it's scary when we're not doing the total research and we're the guinea pigs, right? But hopefully with AI shit, they'll be able to see the outcome before having to go to human trial.
I mean, I'm all for mRNA therapy if it adds 5 inches to my peen.
There's some research suggesting that under specific conditions, it might be reverse transcribed into DNA, but that's not a normal pathway in human cells. It's a guy that's in molecular biology, but I mean, it's the thing about it is it's not new, but it's pretty new. We hasn't been around long enough for us really to see effects. And if they start creating new things and adding more different types of RNA mixes to, like, the COVID shot has literal different funguses and fetal cells and fucking the coronavirus spike protein and all kinds of stuff in it. And that's, I mean, just who wants to put that in your body directly? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I just feel like with this whole thing, and this is why it's a little bizarre to me that Trump would be. I mean, although Trump has never, he's still a fan of his own Operation Warp Speed, so he's never been Mr. Anti-vaccine stuff. But I don't know. I just think the PR on this is it's just like not good. But who cares? I mean, if you're putting $500 billion in the freaking power infrastructure, then that'll make you turn your head and hold your nose for a lot of things, probably.
I mean, not to get too conspiratorial on the power thing, but it's kind of weird that, like, the whole coincidence with the Barron Trump books and the Elon and the Tesla papers, and now they're gonna build this thing that, oh, we randomly discovered 0 point energy.
And listen, the AI is called Project Stargate, bro. Like, all of this stuff is very specific.
That's a good movie, by the way.
Stargate.
If anybody hasn't seen Stargate, I love that movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah. So a little homework out there for all y'all watching. Go watch Stargate. It's fun. Kurt Russell, James Spader. And
just to put a cap on the mRNA thing, we discovered it in the 60s and figured out how to use it in the 70s. That's a long ass time, bro. That's like 50 years of research into this shit. Like, it's just, we need more time on the individual shit.
From my understanding, it's just the computational whatever know-how is so complex that we've only just now been able to really harness it because we have AI, and AI can do these, incredible, especially with the quantum, whatever stuff coming down the pike.
The big thing about all of that, though, is like the people who are telling you this are the same people that created the thing that they're telling you, right? So it's like, how do you trust those sources? It says that the safety data comes from the FDA, the EMA, and the World Health Organization. So how do you trust that the data is being presented to you by those people when they stand to profit?
That's the other thing that's weird. Like, we just pulled out of the WHO, by executive order. So what is going on, Trump? Like, are you playing 20D chess? Like, what's going on, man? Like, there's got to be something. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're going to pull a fast one on OpenAI and these people. I don't know. It just feels so weird. It's like, this is where Trump always trips me out. Like, it feels like, I don't know. It's like he doesn't see both sides of this thing, and maybe he's weighed both sides, and he's like, look, this, or he's the Antichrist.
This morning, President Putin said on an interview or on a broadcast that if Donald Trump's 2020 election wasn't stolen from him, we never would have gotten into a war with Ukraine. Big words coming from Putin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Trump did sign an executive order, I think, saying that he wants Putin to cut it out. I feel like that's just a lot. He just has to say that.
Was it Putin that he said to cut it out, though?
Yeah, he said we're friends, but we got to stop this war.
Yeah, he's like, I have a great relationship, but it's going to be unfortunate if you don't stop. I'm going to have to place tariffs on all of your products coming from Russia.
We don't even import from Russia right now. What is he talking about?
Borscht, man. We're importing all that borscht from fucking Russia.
I know that. I'm sure the United States facilitates something from Russia, bro. I'm sure.
He doesn't realize because him and Melania are still getting that Russian mustard, kid. So he doesn't even realize that there's sanctions on Russian goods right now.
Another slew of executive orders that Trump has dropped, which is exciting, has to do with crypto. So, like we said before, Trump wants the United States to be the leader in artificial intelligence and also cryptocurrencies. So, a couple of things that he did. He's had the SEC rescind SAB 121, which is basically the thing that was stopping institutions from getting into the crypto game, putting them at risk. So that's been rescinded. He has, him and Sachs were in the Oval Office. If you don't know, David Sachs of the All In podcast has taken a temporary leave to work on all this crypto stuff, as the cryptos are basically. Sachs is saying, or they signed an executive order to create to investigate. I think people are getting this wrong. Investigate creating a crypto strategic reserve. So that's something that's coming along. And the other thing that he signed an executive order for is no CBDCs. So our friend Aaron Day, you got your wish, bro. Congrats to you. There will be no creation, at least under Trump, there will be no creation of a crypto or a central bank digital currency. It's a big concern.
I'm out.
Although let's go through these, but it kind of pisses me off though. I was counting on these CBDCs to get my XRP up.
Whatever, bro.
And now I got to wait 4 years, maybe 8.
Why do you want a CBDC, bro? The bank can just use XRP. That's what the Japanese banks are about to do.
SBI Holdings is planning to start using XRP directly.
Okay, we'll see. That is true. The Japanese banks are putting together a consortium to start using XRP. No, I mean, I think that my honest opinion is no CBDCs. Fucking like giving any government the power to just debank you at any time, to take away your money at any time, forcing everybody to use digital currencies. They can inflate that currency whenever they feel like. Bad idea. So I'm glad that he's put the kibosh on that, at least for the next, while he's still in office. And I think that's going to be a positive thing, because it's hard to once the trains are rolling, it's hard to keep it off the tracks. And I think this is a better way for crypto. So that's good. I think that crypto strategic reserve. Now this one caused a little bit of controversy. Okay, Bitcoin Maxis big mad about this one. All right, because they thought they were going to get the Bitcoin strategic reserve, i.e., only Bitcoin. The one true token to rule them all. They thought they were just going to get a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I knew that wasn't going to happen, because Sachs is the one making deals. Sachs likes XRP. He likes Sol. He understands meme coins. Look, Trump dropped Trump coin. You think Trump doesn't want Trump coin in the strategic reserve?
Bro, Bitcoin maxis are just on their fucking Smeagol. My precious. The fucking bro, get the fuck out of here. It's old ass tech. You're lucky we even still use it.
Yeah. I mean, the only, they're calling it digital gold, but like Aaron explained when he was on the show, they're only changing it. They're only calling it that because they know that it's inefficient, and that there's way better cryptos out there, and there has been for a long time. Like, just that's why I was always enthusiastic about XRP. It was like, hey, it works just like normal money. Like, you just spend it. You know what I'm saying? It's so much more convenient. You don't have to worry about gas fees. You don't have to worry about, waiting an hour or whatever to get the Bitcoin where it needs to go. Like, it functions like an actual currency. So, that was not what Bitcoin was supposed to be doing. Bitcoin was designed to actually be a currency. And then when it got too slow, now they're calling it digital gold, which fair enough. But I'm just saying, like, I don't get Bitcoin maxis at all. I don't understand it at all.
I don't understand any chain maxis. I'll be honest with you. You guys think that it's just going to be one? Like you're fucking brain dead and living in fucking delusion land. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, what sector of technology has one product and no other? In fact, in technology, like that's the most disruptive. Like that shit gets disrupted major all the time. I mean, AI itself is going to disrupt the entire order of whatever technology was a year or two ago, you know? So I just think it's ridiculous. I think these Bitcoin maxis need to, I mean, they haven't beef. I just caught it because they were having all this beef with XRP and then calling XRP a fraud. And again, not financial advice, do your own research, but it just in principle, it's kind of like, guys, it's not going to just be Bitcoin. Not to say that Bitcoin won't be a part of it, which I'm sure it will be, but yeah, like stop living in a fantasy world, man.
Yeah, it'll be a part of it the way your grandfather's part of your family. You know what I mean? But like, it doesn't mean that like it runs the show. You might pretend that he runs the show, but he's 90.
Listen. Fartcoin will be in the strategic reserve, and it'll probably be a 90% allocation the way the world works. I mean, okay, so let me ask you this in general with crypto and these executive orders, are you optimistic?
I am. And like I'm bullish on the market as a whole. I'm bullish on like these quantum and AI chains. I don't give anybody financial advice, but things like Near and stuff like that. But and like Alf.
Yeah,
I mean,
Morphware.
yeah,
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Do your own
NFA,
research.
DYOR, all those little things. But yeah, I just think that overall, like the market sentiment is bullish, and I think that right now it's an accumulation period. Everything is going to go up from here, as far like anything major, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
shit tokens, you're on your own.
I mean, my main thing, I'm sure you guys agree with it, is that institutions and listen, all you motherfuckers out there who are like, okay. Actually, this is the other thing I know about Bitcoin people. They're like, oh, it's decentralized. It's not centralized. XRP and these other tokens are centralized. I'm like, listen, motherfuckers, like
BlackRock and Grayscale own so much of it that it is absolutely centralized, bro.
Somebody's got to buy it. You know what I'm saying? For it to have value, somebody has to buy it. Who has all the money? Governments and big institutions. So this idea that crypto's not going to, that you're going to have this true decentralized crypto, maybe, yeah, if you get Monero or Zeno or something where,
but those are not going to $100,000 a token.
Yeah. And I don't even know if they're going to be allowed soon. Like privacy tokens might be in the chopping block in America. Like, and whose interest is having privacy tokens in terms of the U.S. government?
We're going back to Tor life, everything on an Onion browser, and fuck you guys. We're going back to old school crypto because you know what? Like you guys can't be trusted, bro. You guys are out here making government deals. Can't be trusted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, again, I don't want to ran the parade. I know, like I said, we had Aaron on the show, and he's hardcore about the privacy tokens and all that kind of stuff. But there's just a part of me that's like, I don't know. Maybe they'll succeed. Maybe we can all have a couple of privacy tokens, or we hold in privacy tokens and then transfer. But I have a feeling what's going to happen is not necessarily a government ban, although that might happen. They'll just make it really inconvenient to like cash out your privacy tokens.
Yeah, like you want to cash out? Good luck getting fiat with your Monero.
Right. Who's going to switch out of it? Like, are you going to go to Coinbase? And yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen.
I think like it makes sense, but there's going to be a few winners that are like protocols that can swap between currencies. Like Tornado Cash got its sanctions lifted, so now it could operate. So there's platforms that provide privacy that can do what a token is trying to do, right? So like you can already do that. And I think a better one can probably come out with a token. I don't know if Tornado Cash has a token or not. I have to look that up. But if you have your own private, like if Monero did a really cool bridge type thing where they had a bunch of different assets that you could just swap between and get to whatever local asset, that'd be cool. I think that's where interoperability, any token that can bring all the blockchains together and use any of the tokens somehow through whatever mechanism, that's going to be the biggest winner, I think. because people want privacy, but they also want to use their Bitcoin or their Litecoin or their XRP, or they want to use what they want to use, but they also want their privacy. So it's like,
So almost like something with an oracle, so it lives on its own but can be sent to any chain or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So it would be like one DZ token is worth 100 Bitcoin, is worth 100,000 Solana, is worth, you know what I'm trying to say? And like when you whatever address you send it to, it just auto swaps to that token.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. I think it's gonna happen. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll take that back. Maybe, you know,
But I'll be honest with you, that's one of the things about crypto that shocks me the most, is that there's not more things with the price oracle that you can just shop and use your crypto, and because it's not the more difficult thing to build. So I don't know, shocks me.
I think Chainlink will do well because of that.
Or Fed now just releases their fucking whatever proprietary bullshit oracle, and everybody just gets on the Fed now platform.
is canceling the CBDC thing that does that have anything to do with Fed now?
No, because Fed now is not a chain. Fed now is like an aggregator or an oracle.
All right. Well, I'm optimistic. We'll see, especially if the big institutions and government can buy into crypto. I think prices will rise, and I'll be honest. Like, what's going to get me is probably convenience. If I can custody what I own and earn interest on it in somewhere that is, let's say, I think for a lot of people it's going to be like the FDIC thing, where if you lose your crypto, you get that kind of stuff. That would be huge, because then it's like, okay, banks in custody, and then if there's any craziness that happens, they're protected. So I think that's a lot of what's going to happen.
I still don't think you're protected though, bro. Because like, let's say for example, I have a Bitcoin, you scam me out of that Bitcoin, and then the bank gives me a Bitcoin. There's still a Bitcoin out in the world that the scammer has. You can't cancel it. Can't turn that Bitcoin off. So this is why, like, no matter the regulations that happen, if you self-custody coins, you're your own bank, brother. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It like, at the end of the day, there's only so much that anybody could do for you without it being a CBDC. This is why they wanted to push for CBDCs, right? Because then that coin I said that you scammed me out of, it becomes null and void. You can't spend it anywhere, and they just refund me a coin.
Damn, man, maybe I'm pro CBDC now. Dang it, Trump! Why did you take this away from us?
Education, not regulation, bro. Teach these motherfuckers how to be their own bank. Stop fucking being so complacent with your money and your fucking.
I just want to give my money to somebody, forget about it, earn interest.
We already have a CBDC, bro. The CBDC is USDC. No, USDC is pretty much a CBDC. Circle can freeze USDC accounts. They could do stuff to that token. So
They can print more of it. It's absolutely. Yeah. So I wonder what happens to these tokens. I wonder if they allow Tether, and you know what I mean?
Well, RLUSD for sure is good to go, because they've been working with regulators this whole time. So
USDC is it's a stable coin. It's not a central bank digital currency. So they've already been labeling it a stable coin. So, but it's only stable because there's a centralized entity that's helping manage the control of the price.
Because there's a CBC, right? A central bank currency backing it. Like you have to put $1 away to print a USDC, right? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, at least in theory.
at least if they have to actually have that currency, and who knows? Yeah, so they say. All right, well, moving on from crypto, final executive orders, which may be the most exciting, although I don't know, you guys tell me. JFK, RFK, MLK, all the Ks, the 3 Ks, the KKK files are
Ayo.
all being released.
Bro, the MLK stuff is already released and no redactions, bro. No redactions, bro.
What they find?
I mean, serial adulterer, having affairs with multiple women, participated in gay orgies, drug addict and cocaine abuser, paid prostitutes for sex, drunkard alcoholic.
Maybe we should have kept these secret, man. I don't.
I mean, listen, bro, you can't have an MLK day and then release this info, bro. That's crazy. Because listen, nobody is perfect, bro. Everybody does stuff. Like, you can't judge people just based on the bad shit that they do.
Easy solution. Move MLK Day between Pride Week and Juneteenth, and it's like a little transition hall. It's a transition day. You know what I'm saying? That's how to do it. And they wanted to move it anyway, because why have it in the middle of the winter? Like, it should be in the middle of the summer, MLK Day. So, Juneteenth or Pride, it's just winding down, ramping up. I don't know. Then MLK Day, celebrating both Black history and gay history, and then Juneteenth starts. That's my solution. 2028 is when I'm running. I'll take your vote now.
RFK. That's honestly one of the most interesting ones to me. I want to see those.
Do you believe Sirhan was the lone gunman, and do you believe that we may find out about MK Ultra type stuff, or stuff about our greatest ally? Because that to me is what I'm wondering: is how involved is our greatest ally, and is that the reason why these things have been kept secret for so long?
We'll see what comes out, because if they unredacted the MLK stuff, I better see some unredacted fucking JFK and RFK files. You know what I'm saying? Let it all out. Let it all out. You can't just not redact the MLK files and then have a bunch of black boxes on the other fucking files because you don't want people. It just needs to be free information.
Yeah, it all needs to be there, no matter how crazy, ugly it might be. Yeah, I agree. I'm that's what I'm curious about JFK and RFK is, like, are there special program, like, was MK Ultra used? That's the big one for me. I'm really curious about that. And then I do want to know, how involved, our greatest ally may have been in these, in the, what happened. So, do you think, what do you think, guys? Do you think we're actually going to get, it looks like MLK is done. We're getting all kinds of stuff from MLK, but do you think we would get, I don't know, what we were looking for, JFK and RFK, or is it going to be a big nothing burger?
I don't know, man. Operation D-Class.
I think we're going to get it. I think we're getting all the info, bro. I think they're going to tell you what I've been saying about the JFK assassination, that it's the driver. I found out some more shit about that driver too, bro. He gave a really sketchy interview after the thing and then was never seen.
Really? I saw a video that's floating around. I don't know if it's like an AI.
No, that's him, bro. When the driver has the gun.
Yeah. I didn't really see I gotta be honest, I didn't really see the gun. I don't think I saw the.
You can see the gun before the shot. Like when they're just driving, he's got the gun in his hand. And then then you see him kind of like turn, and then JFK gets shot in the fucking head. Bam.
It makes sense. It's just a little
egregious.
How could nobody see that shit?
Because everybody had to be in on it or scared they're gonna get killed as well, right? Like, if they will kill the president, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, for the president's wife, terrified, I would never speak. You know what I mean? Let's say the driver wasn't it and it was the passenger. I would never speak if I was the driver, or as the passenger, I would never speak. Because again, they just had us kill the president. You don't think that they'll have us killed? You better shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Back then it was totally a different story. There's no internet. There's no nothing. All information was controlled. Newspapers, TV. This is where it's also interesting. It's like, people want to be like, oh, we're so under control now. It's like, dude, you can jump on X and see every theory in the entire world that you could ever want to see is on X. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in free times. Like, as much as all this, censorship and stuff is happening and all that, there was heavy resistance to all of it. Like, back in the day, this stuff would have just been pushed on you, and it would have been like, if they didn't want anybody to see anything, they would just not report it. They would just not show it. So, just kind of interesting that like Twitter's so hysterical, but at the same time, I'm like, you're able to talk about this stuff. It's here. I mean, thankfully because of Elon. But all right, well, I don't know. We'll see. I do want to read that MLK stuff. See what they showed there. But all right, guys. Well, listen. Is there anything else in terms of executive orders that you would like to see that maybe hasn't been done yet? I think UFOs is a big one for me. UAPs. There's a lot coming with that stuff. I'm sure we'll do another show in the future for sure. Where, I mean, some of the stuff coming out with the News Nation stuff. This stuff is getting weird, dude. So I don't know. I definitely I know Chuck Schumer of all people told Trump on a tweet that he should release all the UFO stuff. So I'm not sure how to feel about that, but a lot of people want that release. So I guess we'll save that for another day when we know more. But anything else, guys? Any other executive? If you could issue any executive order right now, what executive order would you issue? Fresh, what would you first?
To let me in. Let me in.
Sign executive order. Let Fresh into the United States so we can smoke backwoods together
This guy.
and eat pancakes with maple syrup.
Let me in with my syrup, kid.
What about you, DZ? Any executive order, if you could issue it right now, what would you issue?
Shit, because I'm hoping Trump issues an executive order on it, bro. Right now, interest rates. I would immediately cap interest rates. If I'm gonna do the most practical good that I can, I'm not making a wish, obviously. I'm just doing something, passing a law that will hopefully help a lot of people. That's what I would do.
Yep, I agree. Some of these interest rates are out of control.
He said he's gonna do it. We got the American Golden Age coming, so we'll see.
I think the one I would do is no more insider trading in Congress. I don't know if the president can actually issue an executive order like that. AOC went on Jon Stewart's podcast and was just like straight up like, yeah, everybody's doing it. It needs to stop. Which I mean, this is gonna be a controversial statement, guys. And I'm not just saying it because she's kind of foxy, but I mean, AOC a real one, man. I mean, I agree with her solutions to things, but she's kind of a real one. I mean, she's saying straight up, hey, these guys are crooks, both parties. I got to respect her for that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, I'll fucking cheers her for it.
All right.
She gets an empty cup cheers.
Okay, then you know what? Let's get to the goat toast. So yeah, again, Trump, Ross, all the people that fought for his freedom, J6ers, all y'all, all the pardons.
Freedom all around. Cheers.
Yeah, I'm gonna pour one out for Fauci.
No,
Supreme Court's gonna overturn that, Fauci. Like it's don't count your blessings just yet. Same with the Biden family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are, it's over. We're coming for you. I'm gonna pour one out for the deep state. CBDCs, the WEF. Trump went over there just talking that shit. So I'm gonna pour it out. Wait, I'm gonna pour it out. They're gone. They're dead. It's over. I'm gonna pour one out for Maha. I'm sorry, the mRNA goons got to Trump. We ain't getting that fembendazole and all that shit. We're getting fucking mRNA super vaccines and all that shit. So, it's over. It's over. Sorry, Maha, over. And I think and then one last little toast for the crypto holders. I think anybody who's holding crypto, I think we're going to get a fat bag this year. So cheers to all y'all. And I think that's it for the show today. Fresh, before we head out of here, what's the final executive order that you need to issue for all the people watching thus far?
You know what? It sounds similar to executive order number 1. It's hit the bell, comment, like, subscribe, and send it to someone, or we're coming to your door.